Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back into my channel. So in this lab, we're going to configure an auto scaling group policy in AWS. So let's say if we go to EC2, just click here. And let's say we go to let's say we go to auto scaling groups. That's what I was looking for. And we click on auto scaling group. Now you go to automatic scaling. So we click on that. Now, by the way, you may wonder, let's just close these just to make our computer faster. Let's go see if we can close as much tab as possible. Okay, so let's say we go here and say, what is auto scaling? What is auto scaling group policy? What is auto scaling group policies in AWS? So Google gave us this answer. So auto scaling ensures a steady minimum or desired if specified count of instances will always be running. If an instance is found unhealthy, auto scaling will terminate the instance and launch a new one. So just dive a little deeper into auto scaling group policies. So step in simple scaling policies for Amazon EC2 auto scaling. So with step scaling and simple scaling, you choose scaling metrics and threshold values for the CloudWatch alarm that invoke the scaling process. You also define how your auto scaling group should be scaled when a threshold is in breach for a specified number of evaluation periods. We strongly recommend that you use a target tracking scaling policy to scale on a metric like average CPU utilization or the request count per target metric from the application load balancer. So metrics that decrease when capacity increase and increase when capacity decreases can be used for proportionally scale out or in the number of instances using target tracking. This helps ensure that Amazon EC2 auto scaling follows the demand curve for your applications closely. So it says for more information, you could check these out. Now, it says, for example, you can configure a more aggressive response when demand reaches a certain level. So content. So difference between step scaling policy and simple scaling policy. If you want to, as of here, there is different kind of scaling. There is dynamic scaling policy, there is preventive scaling policy, and there is scheduled action. So check here. So step adjustment for step scaling. Scaling adjustment types. Instance warm-up, create CloudWatch alarms for the metric high and low threshold console. Create step scaling policies, console, bang, bang, bang. So now, there go differences between step scaling policies and simple scaling policy. So it's just explained these here. If you want to, you could visit the Amazon website yourself and learn that yourself. So just to avoid making this video too long, I'm not going to read this, but you could pause this video as we scroll and skim to this and read the portion that interests you the most on that. So now they go to steps adjustment for step scaling. So it's lower bound for the metric value and upper bound for the metric value and the amount by which the scale based on the scaling adjustment type. So the example, lower bound, upper bound, and adjustment. That's for the scale out policy. The scaling is this too. A lower bound of 0, 10, 20. The upper bound is of 10, 20, null. Adjustment is 0, 10, 30. Let's check these out, the metric values. These are important stuff. Scale and adjustment types. Instances warm up. Create CloudWatch alarms for the metric high and low threshold console. So these are to perform the steps on creating those. So create the step scaling policy, console, bang, bang, bang. So it looks like this have all that. So create CloudWatch alarm for the metrics high and low threshold. This have every steps of the way on creating this. So let's switch back into the console. So let's say if we were to create an action, a scheduled action. Schedule action. You go here. You give it a name. You will give it a name and you would have the capacity desired, the minimum, then the max, the recurrence, whether if it's for quant. So what that is so quant is a tool that helps in scheduling tasks on a Linux operating system. So quant jobs are automated jobs that are scheduled to work at a particular time frame. So AWS Lambda is serverless computing solution scheduling jobs on this platform result in running the AWS Lambda quant jobs. So whether if you want this to be the time that you want your recurrent to be happen, but it's automatically on once. Now you have to specify the time zone. So big of a platform. And now, and then down here you would have to specify the start date. But we're not gonna use this now, so let's just cancel it. Now let's check on the preventative scaling policy. So on the preventative scaling policy, you would hit on create one. Now, you would consider to turn on scaling, so scale based on forecast. If switch off preventative scaling will only forecast capacity and not take any scaling action. Only one preventative scaling policy can have scaling turn on at a given time. All right. So now, and then we have like the CPU utilization metrics and target. So say you could choose either network in and out, and application load balancer requests and metric pair and stuff like that. Now the target utilization is already 50 by default. You could scale up or down, but it says it must be greater than 0. And you would have to check the buffer. But then some machine learning will be applied. So now the buffer says that if the forecasted capacity is close to or exceed the maximum capacity, allow preventative scaling to add capacity as needed beyond what is forecasted by up the specified percentage. If set to 0, Amazon EC2 auto scaling may scale capacity higher than the maximum capacity to equal but not exceed forecast capacity. Okay, so let's just cancel this and check the other one, which is dynamic scaling policy. So we're gonna click to create dynamic scaling policy. So here we have 3 options, right? So we have target tracking, we have target tracking policy, we have target tracking scaling, target tracking policy, and the average CPU utilizations. So just click here. We have target scaling, tracking, step scaling, and simple scaling, right? So, so let's say if we were to choose simple scaling, you would have to give the simple scaling a name, and then you have CloudWatch here, right? So, so in case the alarm is being triggered, and what happened maybe if you want to add to capacity unit, or maybe you want to add a 10% of your group and then add capacity unit in the increment of at least 2 let's say 10, or this is a simple scaling policy. So we have a scaling policy that goes out by adding instances. So we have all that goes by removing instances here. So you can have a set of action as well. Let's say you go to add, remove set of action. And then you have what? Let's say you have, check the CloudWatch, the capacity unit. So let's try now the target tracking scaling. So on the scaling policy name, so this is to 40. Let's see, hold up. Okay, so let's say we hit create. So then I will go ahead and create my policy. So now we were saying this is what, so the goal of the auto scaling group is to maintain the CPU utilization into 50. So it says here target tracking policy. So target tracking scaling enable as required to maintain average CPU utilization at 50. So add or remove capacity unit as required. This is very important. That's the reason this is being utilized. So 300 seconds to warm up before including in metric enable. So in case then you go over, then please add more. So right now, we could go to action. Or let's say you go to details here and you just edit this. And so what that is that you just say then please add capacity unit. So to see this is in action, we need to change a few things. So right now, the mean end of the desired is 1, which is good, but let's set the max capacity to be 3 at least. And so let's update. So now the max is updated. So then the capacity can go from 1 to 2 and then to 3. And so the idea now is that we want the CPU utilization of my auto scaling group. I want the CPU utilization of my auto scaling group to be a target of 50. Let's switch over to auto scaling. So to be of 50. So if you look at right now, the CPU utilization is going to be 0, obviously. So scroll down. See, instances manager, monitor. So the auto scaling group metrics collection. Okay. So it says minimum group max. So well, my EC2 instance is not, let me see. Yeah, it's not doing anything. So what I want to do is to go on my EC2 instances, see, is to go into my EC2 instances, and I'm going to stress it to make the CPU utilization skyrocketing to 100%. So let's go. Let's go here, instances. And one is terminated. Let's see this one. And let's just copy this. Space it. See something. Now let's see. Let's go to instances. We have 3 EC2 instance running, so let's check here. So grab this public IP address and check this out to see if it works. So that's about the, okay, so it says it works. So what we can do is, let me go to Google. No, hold up. Let me go to this instance. Tell you what, let me switch to instances. Let me select this instance, and let me connect. I can use the EC2 instance connect to connect to this machine. So using the EC2 instance connect and then connect to it, and then I'll go to Google and install the Stress Amazon Linux 2. So let's say we say ls. So who am I? Okay. So now let's just go to Google. Let's type in install stress. Okay, Amazon Linux 2. So say we click here. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So there go command. Let's switch back over. Oh, sorry, right there. And let's paste it. Nothing to do, complete. So let's just back here. You can just copy them, commands, and paste them. Sorry, right there. It says update Amazon Linux 2 server. So stress tool. So it's enabled. Says to ensure that it's enabled on. You do this. Let's see. Says sudo. Let's see this. So Amazon, this command is not. Let's do this and see. So sudo yami command is not found. I'm not sure why. It says last metadata expiration check. Basically good. The dependency resolve, nothing to do, complete. So it's good. So once update, Let's do that and see. Nothing else to do. So install Stress on Amazon EC2. Let's go here. But says the system will power off now. Okay. Okay. Let's say, check this and see if the machine has been rebooted. One, two. I'm sorry, guys. It's running slow. How many instances do I have here? It looks like it's only one. Yep. Okay. Check this one out. Is it the same IP color? This one was that 7. I'm gonna new version. No, that's not it. I'm not sure. So what is going on here? Let's check how many instances do I have. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Now let's see something. Say we do stress. Let's give our CPU so it doesn't install on this. Let's try it. Okay, now let's do an up hour. Not sure. Let me see here. It says command not found. So sudo yum install stress. Okay. Say yes. Okay, stress is being installed now. Switch back. So in stress upgrade version. Say yes. Okay. Stress available option. Okay. So this help statement. Okay, so let's see what else do we may need here. How to put a load on the Amazon Linux server. Okay, let's grab this. It's command. And let's paste it. Okay, very good. So now, so it says that you can use the uptime command before and after to compare the average load output. So let's say uptime. So basically, now if we switch back to this, we scroll down to, to auto scaling group, and we select this, and we go to management, instance management, and we click on this. So for instance, EC2, it's going, auto scaling group, you select it. Now if you go to monitor, so basically, so our 12 scaling happens, and how do we know that the scaling happened? So if you go into automatic scaling, That's where we are. There is a target tracking policy right there. So let's go on auto scaling. So there we go. So there go the target tracking policy. Bless you. Sorry. So now let's switch. So now I want to show you what I want to show you is the backend. So if we go to CloudWatch, if we go to CloudWatch and we click on there, so the CloudWatch service in here, if we go to, say you go to CloudWatch, and you click on alarm, in alarm, as you can tell, say alarm, so you have the CPU utilization graph. So let's say, so here it's kind of telling you the threshold of CPU utilization is less than 35 for 15 data point within 15 minutes. So action is enabled, do not edit or delete. So that's just the beauty of what we're doing. So you have target tracking, you have target tracking scaling policy. So basically, one of them is called alarm high. So alarm high, and one of them is called alarm low. So alarm high is to scale out, so add instances, and one of them is called alarm low. Alarm low, and so this one is looking at if the CPU utilization is more than 40. Say action. Insufficient. So if the CPU utilization is more than 40, it will is more than 40 within 3 minutes. So basically, So you go here. Let me show you what I mean. So if the CPU utilization, so the data point alarm is 15 out of 15. So missing data treatment, treat missing data as missing, and percentile with low sample. So let's see what action have. Okay. Oh, history. The parent alarm. Let's go back, switch back to details. So if the CPU utilization is less than 35 out of 50, out of 15 data point within 15 minutes, so action will be taken. So you see the graph is kind of showing you everything here. So basically, that's all that is into it. Thank you so very much for following along. Stay tuned for another lab configuration. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.